Hi, and welcome to Heal It Forward's video called Self-Love Quickies. We're going to have some fun today and talk about a few different techniques that I've found that have helped me, not claiming to be a master of any of them. I'm actually hoping I'll watch this video and maybe learn something from it. These aren't right. If you don't resonate with them, throw them away, or look at what is resistant. You know, why are you resistant to them, and why are you not digging that specific one? Some of them are very silly. Please see below this video for the links of people that we mention and things in the video, websites and whatnot, so that we're going to give lots of credits to the people that I got this from. I'm not claiming to get this stuff, but we are going to have some fun with seeing how it all works out. Stop believing in wrong. This is one of the first quickies that we're going to give up. Look at your past and see the reasons for everything bad that has happened to you, and look at how you've grown from that. So in other words, how have you experienced your, what you would call bad, and learned from it, and what have you taken with you that's changed the rest of your life because of it. So it means that the things in your life that have happened weren't necessarily bad, they were necessary for the growth and for where you are right now. Check labeled, so create a check in your mind and label it power over my emotions. And then picture yourself giving it to others and see if that feels good. And so when others try to take control over your emotions by doing things to you that would normally make you upset, visualize your own check that's called power over my emotions, and then decide whether you want to hold on to it yourself or whether you want to give it to that person. If that person doesn't mean a lot to you and you don't love them, I wouldn't give them that check. So it's just a good little visualization. Now we talk about dreams, removing your belief in reality. Often the solution to lack of energy and depression is a bigger dream, is a more ridiculous, a more insane, losing reality a little bit, a dream that really has you giddy by even thinking about the possibility of it could happen. And so once you get clear on that and you start moving forward towards it, then you're going to have the giddiness that that life is going to offer you one day. You're going to have it now because you know you're moving towards what you desire and what you choose. Marsha Weeder is a great dream coach. If you don't have one, dreamuniversity.com. One of my favorite friends in Houston named William Lunch says, "I irritate me when you do that." So here's a great exercise. Write down 3 people that irritate you. Write down the advice that you would give them. Be very specific about how you'd like for them to change. And then pause the video until you've done that. I know half of you aren't going to do it, and that's okay. Pause the video until you've done that. Good. Now, read the advice. Read the advice that you wrote for that person and tell me if it doesn't make sense for you. If it doesn't make sense specifically for you, you're not seeing it, maybe it's something you're judging. It's something that you can work on and judge less if it's not your own advice that's for you. My friend Aaron Bogenreef, one of my favorites, says every time you run across an animal or insect, look it up as the spirit animal. So if you see a cockroach, look up spirit animal cockroach. If you see a possum, look up possum, spirit animal. Whatever it takes, and start to follow that, and you'll see that animals are actually playing with you all along. And if you pay attention, the spirit guides are going to tell you what each animal represents to you in your world. Follow the Mayan calendar. Look up mayankin.com. This is Mariella Maya's website, a good friend of ours. A lot of our friends have been following the Mayan calendar and what the daily energies are. We find it's even more fun than following astrology, and astrology is a lot of fun too. Read your favorite quotes daily. Marianne Williamson is my favorite. Look up Our Deepest Fear in Marianne Williamson and you'll find a super quote. Okay, yoga. Yoga is a great one to try. Try all kinds of different yoga. If you're not finding the one you like, look up on YouTube and keep doing different types of yoga until you find the type of yoga that's right for you. As you can see, there's a lot of different varieties of yoga. Breathing exercises. Breathing exercises are super powerful. Look up pranayama. This is an easy one right here that they're doing already. It's super simple. You do it 10, 15, 20 times. Make sure you warm up to it because you might start to get a little lightheaded if you do it too often. But increasing the oxygen in the body can really give you a different experience. And of all the energy works I've tried, breathing exercises are the most powerful. Kirtan. Kirtan's another great one. It's about singing and being in fellowship with other friends. Look up Kirtan on meetups near you and play with that. Meditation. See links below. We're going to have some links for some meditations. A healing meditation puts you to sleep. Sacred geometry meditation wakes you up, gives you inspired action. Okay, so now we're going to do a little demo for meditation. So we're going to pull up this chair right here. And what I want you to do is sit down in a comfortable space. so that you're relaxed, and put your hands face up, palms up, on your legs like this. And you'll see that however your hands land is how much tension you're holding on to your body. It has to do with parasympathetic and sympathetic. So now straighten out your hands, and you'll feel that feels a little different. You'll feel that it's just a little bit more open. So this is a great way to meditate and allow the universe to flow into you through the releasing of the tension. Another great way to meditate is just to stare into your hand. And so just to stare into your hand, this is an old rave trick. Just stare into your hand until you feel your hand, until you start seeing the lines creating different things. You're going to see the fingerprints or the handprints looking different. You're going to see all sort of things start to change. That was a great sentence. We're only doing one take today, by the way. If you have trouble meditating, use guided meditations until you can get used to meditating on your own. Okay, now we're going to have some fun. These are from me over my experience as being a ridiculous douchebag. So this is my first one called the personal high five, and it goes kind of like this. And so the personal high five is super powerful when you have no one to give a high five to, but you really want and need that power that the high five gives you. There's another great one called the awesome kick, and it goes like this. That was awesome. And so it's a really great thing, especially if you're talking to your kid's teacher or something like that. You want to throw that is awesome. I'm so proud of my kid. So then you can throw the personal high five with the awesome kick, and it looks like this. Awesome. So that's another super powerful technique for that. And then, of course, we have my old favorite, kiss the bicep. So kissing the bicep, it's hard not to smile. It's hard not to get happy after you kiss the bicep. This is a good way. This is a great way. I don't know why, but this is better than the over. So anyway, kiss the bicep is awesome as possible, as often as possible, because kissing the bicep can immediately make you smile, kind of like making fun of yourself maybe, but I think there's also something physiological in it. I'm not sure. I'm making that up. So here's some activities that you can play with on your computer and on your action items. Add please and your name to all your action items. They look like this. Do the laundry, please, Joseph. It just adds a little personal flavor to your action item list. You're welcome to join us, brother. Write thank you on top of it when finished. Add text to your phone alarms. Like on an iPhone, maybe not most phones, but on an iPhone you can put, I love you, boo, it's time to wake up, honey. When your alarm goes off, you read that instead of it just saying alarm. So if it's too nice, you're going to hit snooze too often, so just a warning there. Use your calendar to send notes to your future self. You want to go at least 6 months in advance. Send a note to your future self and date it at the bottom, and write just a loving little note to yourself and put what day you wrote it on, and then when you get it, it pops up in your calendar. It's like, oh my God, it's my past self. Very cool. Okay, so Houston Vetter is one of my favorite gurus in Houston here. So his quote that I love so much, I want to read it, and I want you to really take this in. If you are going to unconditionally love yourself, it is important to do so even when you catch yourself conditionally loving. I'm not sure what's going on back there. It sounds fun. That's called the self-love slow dance, by the way. So don't be afraid to self-love slow dance with yourself. It's another self-love quickie that we're giving you here today. Another thing I woke up with recently is there's no sense of urgency in the now, and that allowed me to like take a deep breath and just breathe in. There's no sense of urgency in the now. We don't need to be doing anything. We don't need to speed up and hurry up, and nobody's waiting on us to do anything. Once the last of your friends thinks you have lost your mind, the handcuffs come off. And so that's when you can start to really open up into who you are. You know, I don't think there's any friend I have left that doesn't believe that I'm completely and totally insane. And I love living from that, because I know that I can do whatever the heck I want now. The handcuffs are off. Smile for no reason as often as possible. Like Elf says, smiling's my favorite. So smiling actually changes your physiology. If you're having problems with this, like I used to do this when I was having problems with it. I would look in the rearview mirror, and I would smile at myself until I started laughing at myself for smiling at myself. And then I laughed at myself for laughing at myself. And you see how that can continue, and you can have a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to show you guys another perception of an argument. So this is just another way of looking at when two humans have an altercation. So when two humans are fighting on Earth, their souls are high-fiving. So if you perceive it that way, that their souls are actually high-fiving as the two humans are fighting. It makes it a little easier to see why we get into these dances. It has to do with soul contracts and things we have no idea or don't understand. The only thing I can tell you from my experience is that the deeper an argument we get in with someone, or the more resistance we have to them, or the more mad we are, the more our souls were college buddies. And they made some deal that was like ridiculous. Like, yeah, we're going to learn this from each other. That'll be fun. Okay, so now we're going to get into some T.L. Scott teachings. Belief trumps everything. It's one of my favorites. And I'm not quoting her, by the way. This is just teachings of T.L. Scott. We vibrationally attract everything in our lives. Take ownership of everything that happens to you. And so, you know, from a vibrational standpoint, we are always attracting things to ourselves. And so take ownership of that, and it'll change your life. It's just a change in perception. Once we get clear on where we are going, everything in opposition to this comes up so we can clear it. This is another great one because it allows us to realize that we're never actually moving backwards. We're always moving forward. We're always actually bulldozing forward. And sometimes it feels like we're moving backwards because when we get clear on what we want, things that we don't want come up for us and then we have to clear it. And it's actually a beautiful thing. And it's, you know, once you see it that way, it's awesome. Helen Ray's, one of my favorite healers on the planet. HelenRay's.com, RACZ.com. She's one of the best EFT practitioners around, emotional freedom technique. So EFT is really easy. I recommend looking it up on the internet. Her website is one way to find it. And it's just about tapping and tapping things out. It's a great way to release emotions. You can tap or not tap for this next technique. This is also Helen Ray's. But you set a 3-minute timer on anything you want to deal with. It could be overwhelm. It could be I'm tired of being tired. It could be stress, anxiety, fatigue, depression. And you stay in that for 3 minutes. Your subconscious is going to try to kick you out. Stay in it. There you go. So stay in whatever you're going through for the entire 3 minutes. Do not let your subconscious take over. You know, stay on that task, and once you get to the end of 3 minutes, you'll be so sick of that overwhelm or whatever it is you pick that you won't want to mess with it for another couple days. And when it shows up again, set a timer, schedule it, 3 more minutes, boom. Now, Helen also talks about how we're emotional filters. So you can filter all these negative emotions by allowing them in instead of resisting them so much. So it looks sort of like this. You can use this with sadness, depression, grief, whatever, anything you want to do. So it looks like this. If I feel sadness coming in, I'll say, oh, sadness, there you are. I remember you. I welcome you in, and I allow you to be here. And I acknowledge your presence in my being, and I feel you. And then let that sit for as long as you like. Could be 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 2 days, whatever. Once you feel it enough, that you've got enough of that sadness, you say, okay, sadness, now I'm letting you go. I release you, I release you, I release you. And you let the sadness go, or whatever it was you were dealing with. So that's another couple great tricks from my friend Helen Ray's. Now we've got Pilar Torres, who sent this over. She's one of my favorite gurus as well. Hug your shadow. So, hug your shadow is about getting clear on what parts of yourself that you're not seeing and being affectionate with those parts. No matter, and this is from Pilar, no matter how much it hurts, visualize your shame and your hurt and hug it like a newborn baby. Because it most of all deserves your love, attention, and forgiveness. Doesn't that feel good? Feels good, right? Okay, now we move on to affirmations. The best affirmation in the world, according to Louise Hay, I love and approve of myself. Say that in the mirror until you feel it. There's 18 of them by Wayne Dyer that I also think are super great. You can look those up really easy. To get your specific affirmations, I highly recommend reading a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. She shows you which affirmations go along with which ailment, physical symptom, whatnot. We use that book a lot in our healing work. The danger of affirmations. This is I got this from T.L. Scott, but the danger of affirmations is if I say, I am infinitely wealthy, and my subconscious or internal dialogue says, no, you're not, dude. You got $2 in your wallet. Well, that no, you're not, dude is also an affirmation. It's more powerful than the first because I believe it. So it trumps my first affirmation. So by doing an affirmation, I actually went backwards. Remember I said earlier you can't go backwards? Well, you can't. But it's not the right way to do affirmations. So how do you fix that? Look in the mirror until you feel it. Keep saying it in the mirror, eye to left eye, until you see it. Would that be left eye to left eye? Left eye to right eye. Whatever. Until you see it, until you feel it. The other way is great. Walk in a circle 8 while doing your affirmations. This shuts off your left and your right brain's ability to argue with itself and to negate that because your left and your right brain are focused on the figure 8. The third way to do it is to get your child or any child to read the affirmations, record it, and then listen to it. Because it's coming from a child's voice, you can believe it. When it's coming from your own voice, you call bullshit on it sometimes. And if you don't, then keep doing affirmations the way you're doing. These are just some techniques to get around the negative dialogue when you're doing affirmations. Mindmovies.com, great place to set your affirmations onto photos. It does all the work for you. It's $99, super good investment. I love playing with Mind Movies. If you haven't seen mine, ask me, I'll show you. Want to feel what oneness feels like. So here's my volunteer. I need this hand. So what oneness feels like, I'm going to move you in camera a little bit like that. So what oneness feels like is put your fingers like this. I'm going to show them first. One finger together, and then close your eyes. And you're going to rub gently up and down like that. And it kind of gives you the experience of being one being with someone else. So that's a super fun trick. Thank you, my dear. Paint your walls. Anything but solid color. You can see we love to paint the walls here at the farm. Enjoy your walls. Utilize them. Invite an artist over and pay them to paint your walls or get them to do it for free. Do the hokey pokey more. What if it really is all it's about? What if it is all it's about? The hokey pokey. Do the hokey pokey more. And also tickle your body lightly and all over. So tickle your body lightly and all over as often as possible. This is a great self-love quickie because it can get you out of any mood that you're stuck in by just slightly tickling. It's better to do this naked, by the way. So if this were a lucid dream, which I believe it is, would you pay attention to who walks up and starts talking to you? Would you be present for them? So in other words, if you understood you were inside of a dream and you knew you were creating this, would you pay more attention to the people that come into your reality? And would you start to actually be present for them when they're trying to tell you something? Would you take it in knowing that this is you trying to tell yourself something? This goes back to the oneness movement. A lot of us are now believing this is a dream. If you don't believe that, that's okay. That's your prerogative. I believe that this is a lucid dream and that we're all just different parts of one being experiencing ourselves. It's really a beautiful way to live. Okay, so create sacred spaces. Set a 30-minute timer when cleaning and clean up your sacred spaces. Listen to the Ridiculous Hour, greatest show ever created, or something positive while doing it. The Ridiculous Hour is a ridiculous show that my friends and I put on, and it's a great way to clean house, or listen to while cleaning house. So pooping, this is an important one. I wish I could see the faces behind me because we haven't practiced this much. But pooping is something a lot of people get wrong. A lot of people are doing that pushing and really trying to get it out. Pooping is not about pushing when you enjoy it correctly. It's about, you can activate the colon by pushing a little bit and then let it go and let the colon do its work. And you focus on your letting go. You focus on your releasing and let it go. And you're going to have a whole different experience of pooping if you've been doing this number on the pot. So not sure why we had to add that one in there, but we did. So now, if you want to study oneness and you want to get into oneness, I'm just going to list off a few people that I highly recommend. Abraham Hicks, Teal Scott, Bashar, Franco de Nicola, Andrew Bartzis, Eckhart Tolle, and of course Pilar Torres. For the science of oneness, we have, these are people that have proven, like, for example, that the proton is a black hole. Now, Sim Harameen proved that one. Santos Benicini is another good one. Marty Leeds is another good one. So you have a lot of good people that are connecting the science to the spirituality. Search them out or reach out to me on Facebook if you want to find those type of people. I'm big on connecting science and spirituality. And to find me on Facebook, by the way, it's Joseph Zenner, Z-E-N-N-E-R, and I'm the only one, of course. Be naked more. We talked about that often. Be naked more. Don't do that, you guys. Take shoes off. Take shoes off. Garden. Play in the dirt. Hug trees. Hug rocks. Plants are healers. Pay attention to them. Look up what the healing ability of the plants are, just like you did with the animals earlier. One of the last tips, utilize essential oils in your emotional healing. That's one of the main things our group does, is we utilize the oils and play with them a lot in our emotional healing. The vibration of these oils will raise your vibration. We offer essential oils intuitive emotional healing analysis to anyone for free, just to get them more comfortable with what the oils can do for you. That's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us and taking your time with us. Thank you to everyone here that participated. Brett and Nicole and Cherry and Rose and Linda. Thank you all for helping me, and thank y'all for watching this video. Namaste, y'all. Peace.